If this video finds you, it's not by accident. There are no coincidences in the spiritual realm, only divine timing. And the fact that you're hearing these words right now is the confirmation you've been waiting for. Something inside you has always felt different, hasn't it? Like you were born for something greater, something unseen yet undeniable. That quiet knowing that you don't fit into the world around you, not because you're broken, but because you were built for something higher. God has had his eye on you since the beginning. Before you ever felt overlooked, he had already chosen you. There were moments you felt like giving up, like everything was stacked against you. The rejection, the isolation, the long seasons of silence where it felt like your prayers vanished into thin air. But even in those hidden places, God was working. He was preparing you in the dark for a purpose that would shine in the light. You weren't forgotten. You were being forged. And now you're stepping into the revelation of why it had to happen this way. The pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every betrayal, every closed door, every moment of doubt, God used it. He turned it into strength. You didn't just survive. You were refined. And that's what separates you. You didn't become bitter. You became better. You didn't lose your faith. You found it buried deeper beneath the ashes. That's how you know you're chosen. Not because life has been easy, but because you kept standing when everything tried to knock you down. There's a shift happening around you, a spiritual unlocking. You may not see it yet, but something is breaking open in the heavens. God is repositioning you, realigning you with your destiny. The very things that tried to destroy you are about to witness your elevation. And not because you chased revenge, but because you remained obedient even when you didn't understand. That's the heart God honors. That's the soul he anoints. Chosen one, you were never meant to blend in. That uncomfortable feeling you carry, that's divine distinction. That's the weight of being marked by God in a world that worships imitation. You were never created to follow the crowd. You were made to lead the few. The ones like you, who walk by faith, not by sight, who trust when there's no evidence, who believe when there's no reason to. And maybe right now, you're in a season where nothing makes sense. The warfare is intense. The silence is louder than ever. And you've started to question if maybe you got it wrong. But this is the place where many turn back and where the chosen ones rise. Because you understand something deeper. God doesn't build warriors on mountaintops. He builds them in the valley. And you're not being buried, you're being planted. And when the time is right, he will bring forth what he placed inside you. You were born with something the enemy feared. That's why the attacks came early. That's why people tried to dim your light before you even understood how brightly it could shine. The enemy saw your potential before you did, and he tried to kill it at the root. But here you are, still standing, still growing, still becoming. That's proof of your purpose. And God is not done with you. In fact, he's just getting started. You think you've seen his hand move before. That was only a glimpse. What's coming next will leave you speechless, but it requires something from you, not perfection, not performance, just surrender, just the willingness to keep walking when you don't know the way, to keep trusting when the road is covered in shadows, to keep believing even when the evidence hasn't shown up yet, because that's where God meets you, in the in-between, in the waiting, in the ache. He doesn't show up in the noise. He whispers in the stillness. And right now, he's whispering to you, you are mine. You were never alone. I've seen every tear, every silent prayer, and I have not forgotten you. You're about to step into a season of clarity. What was confusing will make sense. What was lost will be restored. What felt delayed will be delivered. But stay alert, because not everyone who claps for you is for you. Not everyone who smiles is safe. When the light hits you, it will expose what was hiding in the dark. And some people around you won't be able to handle your transformation. Let them go. You're not called to carry those who want to stay bound. You're called to rise. This is why it's been so hard. Not because you're weak, but because you're carrying something sacred. And the enemy doesn't fight what isn't threatening, but what he forgot is that you don't fight alone. Heaven backs you. Angels protect you. God himself walks beside you. And when you fully realize that, you become unstoppable. You are about to enter rooms you didn't ask to be in, receive blessings you didn't chase, walk through doors that no man can shut, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. You are God's chosen one. You were handpicked for such a time as this, and no devil in hell can undo what God has ordained. So take a deep breath. Let go of the fear. Silence the voices that say you're not ready. Because if this message found you, it means you are. It means the time has come. The shift is happening now. And what's ahead of you is far greater than anything behind you. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. He didn't speak promises over your life just to tease you. Every word he spoke, he intends to fulfill. And the next chapter of your life, it's not just about surviving. It's about thriving. It's about walking in the fullness of who you were always meant to be. You are chosen. You are called. You are covered. And your breakthrough, it's not coming someday. It's already begun. This is the moment the enemy hoped you'd never reach. He tried to confuse you. He tried to break you. He threw everything at you hoping you would forget who you are. But you didn't. Deep down, something inside you kept burning. It wasn't loud. It didn't shout. But it whispered, "Keep going. You are made for more." And that whisper was the voice of God. Now it's getting louder. Now it's undeniable. Everything in your life has led to this point. Nothing was wasted. Not the pain, not the delays, not even the people who left. All of it was part of the design. You were being set apart. You were being cleansed of everything that couldn't go with you into the next season. And now, the season has arrived. You can feel it, can't you? The shift, the stirring, the way your spirit knows something is about to break loose, even if you can't explain it. That's not your imagination. That's revelation. Heaven is about to make a public declaration of who you are. And while others see the surface, God sees the soul. He sees your battles. He sees your quiet obedience when no one was watching. And that's what he rewards. Not the loudest voice, not the biggest platform, but the faithful heart. And you, chosen one, have been faithful through fire. The world may not know your name, but heaven does. Angels have been assigned to you since birth. You were marked before the foundation of the earth. There are scrolls in heaven that carry your purpose, and those pages are turning now. Your life is not random. You're not here to just survive and fade away. You are part of something eternal, a divine orchestration that is unfolding even as you hear these words. And your enemies, they thought you were finished. They thought they could bury you, but they didn't realize burial and planting look the same until growth begins. And you're growing. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You're shedding old versions of yourself. The insecure you, the fearful you, the doubtful you. All of it is being stripped away so the real you, the anointed you, can rise. And that version of you, it's unstoppable. Not because of arrogance, but because of alignment. When you align with God's plan, no human plot can stand against it. That's what's happening now. Divine alignment. Doors that were shut are swinging open. People who once ignored you are now drawn to your light. And the reason? It's not you. It's God within you. He's about to showcase his power through your life in ways that can't be explained. Favor that doesn't make sense. Protection that defies logic. Provision that comes out of nowhere. But all of it will point back to him. Because when God blesses the chosen, it's never just for them. It's for everyone watching. Your life becomes a testimony, a living, breathing sign of what happens when someone says, yes, even when it hurts. You said yes, and now heaven is saying yes to you. But don't forget, every elevation comes with exposure. The light that reveals your glory will also expose your enemies. People who smiled in your face but secretly hoped you'd fail. They'll start to show themselves. Let them. Don't fight. Don't retaliate. Just rise. The greatest revenge is the fulfillment of prophecy. And your prophecy, it's in motion. Be prepared, not just for the blessing, but for the responsibility. With great power comes greater surrender. God is trusting you with this because He knows your heart. He knows you won't forget where you came from. He knows you'll point the glory back to Him. That's why He chose you and not someone else. You weren't the most popular. You weren't the loudest, but you were the most faithful. And in the kingdom, that's what matters most. Everything you need for the next level is already inside you. The strength, the wisdom, the discernment. It's all been placed within you by the Spirit of God. Don't second-guess yourself. Don't shrink. You've outgrown the old version of you. It's time to step into who you've become. And yes, it might feel scary.